What's up, everybody? AJ Kirsch back at you, fresh from the gym and sweaty and stinky as hell. You know the drill by now. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you know exactly when new videos drop. Social media, merchandise, upcoming events, all that information can be found in the description of this video, as can the link to my Patreon, which is live right now. It's the very tippy top link there in the description of this video. Give it a click, check it out. I hope you find something you like. I hope you sign up, and I would really appreciate it if you did just that. If you saw the most recent episode of WWE2Kfabe, then you are aware that I'm kind of bringing the series to a close, at least for now. In the most recent episode, I asked you to tell me which scene, more than any other, you wanted me to cover in the next episode, which is this episode of WWE2Kfabe. And I think the scene that got the most interest is when Trey found out that his parents were dead. At the Hall of Fame, compliments of Brooklyn Von Braun. Pretty heavy scene. I've got some interesting insight on that scene, kind of peek behind the curtain as far as instructions and requests and guidelines from WWE when it comes to the writing process of WWE video games. I think you will find that interesting. This Saturday, I will be in Fresno, California, where I will host and commentate at Best of the West, featuring former WWE superstar Chris Masters. That is an all-ages show. Tickets are available right now by going to botw.tv/tickets. So, hope to see you there. Yeah, that's it. Oh, another thing. And another thing. So next episode, which will be dropping this coming Monday, will be the final episode of WWE 2Kfabe for now. If you want to hear about why I'm kind of putting a pause on the series, then go ahead and check out the prior episode, the most recent episode of WWE 2Kfabe on my YouTube channel. So this is your time to ask any burning questions about WWE 2K20 and the making of process. So in the comments, go ahead and fire off your questions. If I can answer them, I will. Even if I can't, I will speculate to the best of my ability, but I'm going to make it very clear that it is only a guess. It is only speculation. But, you know, I do have a pretty unique... I'm in a unique position to give you as much insight as I can. So fire off your questions in the comments. And before we get to WWE 2Kfabe and that fateful scene at the Hall of Fame ceremony, one more shout out to MK Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for letting me use the footage of every cutscene from WWE 2K20 that you uploaded to your YouTube channel. And if you're watching this, there's a good chance you're into video games. And if you are, then I encourage you to check out MK Ice and Fire's YouTube channel. They are the premier gaming channel on YouTube. You'll be very glad you did. All right, that's it. Let's get into it right now. The fateful scene at the Hall of Fame when every secret was revealed, all the cards were on the table. Here is episode 6 of WWE 2Kfabe. All right, we are at the WWE Hall of Fame, and it's Trey says, man, it feels like we've been up here for 15 hours, and the funny thing is, my career is, I mean, that's just a slight exaggeration. If you caught my little rant in the last episode of WWE 2Kfabe, then you heard me identify that WWE 2K20 has about 6.5 hours of cutscenes, which I'm not going to go on the whole rant again. I'm sure, I mean, hopefully you heard it. If not, check out that episode. But 6.5 hours of cutscenes, of dialogue, of animation, that is no easy task, especially with less than a year to do it, especially with Yuke's departing 2K, you know, in the midst of development. So, anyway, I'm gonna stop myself right there before I go on that rant again. But here, Brooklyn Von Braun about to... Oh, what is he doing? Oh, boy. Buddy, back up. Back up, buddy. There you go. She swats him away. Brooklyn Von Braun unveiling her entire maniacal plan. And something I actually found quite interesting both last year in 2K19 and 2K20, Brooklyn Von Braun sharing a last name with the first name of Braun Strowman. Cole Quinn, of course, sharing the same name as Michael Cole and Adam Cole. And I asked the writer at the time, I was like, was that deliberate? And they were like, oh, no, I mean, it was just interesting to me. I thought there was a connection there. Turns out there isn't. And we recently caught a glimpse of young Red trying to persuade older Red to, I don't know, one last ditch effort to protect Trey from the truth, but Brooklyn Von Braun not letting it happen.
But if you want to see your real parents, I can make that happen. Here they are.
And Brooklyn Von Braun
pretty much says it all.
Letting Trey know that his parents are dead, and that brings me to an interesting point. So I was there when we were recording this scene. We were doing the voiceover for this scene, and I got a glimpse into the type of feedback that 2K gets from WWE about certain things. And one of the things that WWE, at least within 2K, is notoriously picky about is making fun of the dead, which is interesting because if you listen to any of Conrad Thompson's podcasts, Eric Bischoff and Bruce Pritchard's in particular, both of them have this thing about, speaking ill of the dead. They often say the phrase, like, they're not here to defend themselves, so they don't want to say anything bad about them. And, like, a good example is whenever they talk about Ultimate Warrior, who definitely, to put it mildly, had the reputation for being kind of an asshole. And I don't think that's, pointing things out that they said or did that lead them to fit that reputation of being kind of an asshole it's not insulting the dead. You're just saying things that they said and did. But as we see Red taking on Brooklyn Von Braun, an impromptu matchup here at the WWE Hall of Fame. But some of the feedback that 2K got when coming up with the wording for this moment when Brooklyn Von Braun shows the gravestones on the giant screen there, the original line was actually, "That's right, they're dead." And said with that same type of, I guess, venomous, like that same type of like, haha, they're dead. Like, not explicitly saying it like that, but that's right, they're dead. And some of the feedback from WWE was that was a little too on the nose, a little bit too mean-spirited, I guess. So they changed the wording to, oh my God, what's happening? So they changed the wording to, that's right, there they are, or whatever that line was when the gravestones flashed up on the, oh my God, devastating Michinoku driver that sent her through the stage and somehow through the ceiling at the same time. So whatever that line was, that was acceptable, but that's right, they're dead. Not acceptable. Which I found interesting because it wasn't too long ago that Jim the Anvil Neidhart died. And, it was either a week or 2 weeks later that his face, his likeness, was plastered on a table and his daughter, Natty Neidhart, was put through that very same table. So I don't know if it's a distinction between, television and video games. Like, I feel like they allowed a little bit... Oh, there's the man, Becky Lynch. I feel like they allowed a little bit less leeway with the video games than they do television. Because, again, they're taking, a real-life death. An actual human being died in Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And then they put his face on the table and put his daughter through that table to get heat on whomever Natty was feuding with at the time. But for the video game, they wouldn't let Brooklyn Von Braun say, that's right, they're dead. So anyway, that was just a fascinating glimpse into the inner workings, I guess, of the WWE. And I guess it's not just WWE, because like I said, it was in Bruce Pritchard's podcast, Eric Bischoff's podcast. I'm not so sure about Tony Schiavone's, Arn Anderson's, and, oh God, who's the other one? I'm blanking right now. Eric Bischoff, Tony Schiavone, Bruce Pritchard, Arn Anderson. Oh, and Jim Ross. I don't think I've ever heard Jim Ross hesitate when speaking ill of somebody who has deceased, who's pulled some shady stuff. So, anyway. Oh my God, down to the concrete floor below. Anyway, all this to say, it was really interesting to be that close to the process and hear that feedback come back. And just be like, I don't understand what, Oh, ripping up the list. You got to be kidding me. That's terrible. Anyway, a glimpse into the process and the sometimes exacerbating feedback that comes back from WWE when putting together the latest video game. Once again, leave your questions in the comments. Anything and everything having to do with WWE 2K20 and the making of process, the voiceover, the motion capture, anything else, now's the time to ask. That episode will be dropping this Monday, so make sure you turn on notifications so you know exactly when that video drops. I hope to see you this Saturday in Fresno, California for Best of the West. Please click the link in my description to check out my Patreon and sign up. I only need 2 more patrons to sign up, and somebody's going to win that signed Rey Mysterio picture that came with the SmackDown 20th Anniversary Collector's Edition of WWE 2K20, and you have a 1 in 10 chance of winning, so the chances are far larger than any of the contests I'll be putting out on my social media. So go ahead, check out my Patreon. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscriptions. I appreciate all of your support. Sound off with your questions for 2K20 in the comments, and until next time, I'm AJ Kirsch. Take care, y'all.